Welcome along to our big match preview and backed by Ladbrokes for the season. Remember to go ahead and check out Ladbrokes Odds Boost, available in the link in the description below to instantly increase your odds. T's and C's apply. The first game of 2018, Tuesday night, as we kick off against Crystal Palace, and I'm with Clive to look ahead to the game. And in the scheme of things, mate, I think the point at Old Trafford was massive, and you would hope that we can build upon this and finally push up the table.
Without a doubt, Freddie. A big morale lift, that was. Very big morale lift. Everybody's expecting a bit of a caning up there. And the team pulled together and I think deserved that. Definitely thoroughly deserved that point. I think that the overriding thought for myself was that we played defensively well as a team. We backed each other up all around the park. And that's something that was so missing in the Boxing Day game at Wembley. But that gives us hope looking forward. But yes, this is such a tough game. We definitely don't want to lose it.
Yeah, and obviously more changes we saw at Old Trafford, and this Palace game obviously comes a few days afterwards, and you expect some sort of fatigue. But Pellegrino's selection lottery, which I like to call it now, will surely throw up some more changes for the starting 11. And notably, we saw Alex McCarthy make his first league start against United at Old Trafford, kept a clean sheet. Should he play against his old club?
I think so. I thought that Fraser should have been dropped a couple of months ago, and it's strange that he's waited so long to do it when Fraser, I think, has got his confidence back, made some vital saves. I wouldn't blame him for the five goals conceded at Wembley. In fact, he stopped a lot. What can you say about Alex's performance? He made one good save from a shot from the edge of the box. Actually completely flapped at one of the crosses and missed it completely. Thankfully, the United player did as well. Just about got to the disallowed goal, but didn't quite manage to turn it around the post. So he wasn't really tested, to be honest. But he looked calm. He looked the part, and that's all that's important, really. Does he give? The most important thing is, are those guys in front of him confident in him? And I guess if that's the case, then yes, he's worth his place, definitely.
Yeah, and he really got his jersey dirty against United the other night. And you say about the front four in front of him, you know, we saw Jack Stevens, Wesley Hoot and Yoshida. That seems like those three are nailed on at the current climate, with Cedric B still being injured, Bertrand still a bit of a doubt. Well, I think obviously we need an extra bit of quality in January, though.
Yeah, look, it was a great battling defensive performance, but how often did you think Saints were going to score? We did create about 3 good chances in the game, but there wasn't much flow about Saints' game. But that's because they were up against Man United at Old Trafford. Let's get real. That was a bloody good result, a really good result. And the fact is, United didn't really bother us. They didn't, other than that early header from Lukaku, and you know there wasn't a host of chances as you might have expected, or any kind of. The thing that I was really surprised at in that game was they didn't pressure on our midfield. Our midfield looked really comfortable on the ball. And they played through. They played some nice stuff going forward. But again, where are the goals coming from? It's difficult to see. I see so much unjust slagging of Shane Long because he did a tremendous job last night. Worked his socks off. He was up there on his own. He had no support around him. And he had to try and hold the ball up and wait for the midfield to get up with him, as it were. And I thought he did tremendously well. And I really think some of these comments on the internet, have these people ever played football before? Because we really need a player like Shane Long who's going to work his what's-its off. Yes, 27 games without a goal. Stick someone like Pella up there, hint by Giroud, and you'll see a very, very different Shane Long and a very much more effective Shane Long. He does what he does for the team, and he does it well.
He does, and he gets up there, obviously runs his socks off, wins a few important tackles, important free kicks in dangerous areas, and he's done that a few times against United the other day. But Crystal Palace come to town looking a bit galvanised under Roy Hodgson. They pulled themselves out of the bottom 3, got some important players for them, Wilf Zaha and Benteke. Andros Townsend got on the score sheet against Arsenal as well, and it's important to keep those 3 quiet.
They've got a very good forward line, but they've also got a dodgy defence. So you weigh up the 2. And you have a go at them, I think. We've had a pretty good record against them down here. Although they've played, I think they've played really, really well down here and been a bit unlucky. So it's a really hard game to call. Really hard game to call. The worrying thing is, where are Saints' goals coming from? Much as I've said about the positive side of Shane Long's work rate, if Shane can't score, where are the goals coming from? Tadic maybe, Buffal, who always seems to score a wonder goal every now and then, blue moon. I think the overriding thing is Saints need to be, again, disciplined defensively as a team. If they can frustrate those three and keep them quiet, I think we can create quite a bit going forward. I really do. I think Palace at the back, well, they've had a good run and they've done particularly well late on in games. I think they're get-at-able. I really think we can get at them. But it's a question. It's a very. I always get when someone says, "Oh, they want it more than us." I think it's so general, but it is, unfortunately for this game, it's one of those games where we got to want it more than them. And I think, as much as the team have to, the fans have to as well. There's been a lot of negativity about Saints. I think the fans generally at St Mary's have been very patient. But this is one of those night games where they need to come alive. And I really think, at the Dow, I believed there were times when Saints fans actually won games because they just dug in and dug in and dug in, and the support from the terraces was that, good that they lifted the team. You could see it visibly lift the team. I haven't seen a lot of that at St Mary's, really, but this is a time now when we really need to dig in and lift the team. This game is so pivotal, if that's a word.
Pivotal, yes, but get-at-able, maybe the new one for the 2018 Oxford Dictionary.
Get-at-able, well, there you go. There's one from... There's one that came out of the woodwork. But I just think that Saints fans can lift the team all round the ground. And stop going on about whether Fraser's better than Alex, Van Dijk's gone to Liverpool, Puel. Let's concentrate on Saints here and now, because we've got 19 points on the board or 20? I can't remember what it is.
20 points now.
20 points on the board. So we need another 20 minimum. So that's probably 6 victories from somewhere. And this is one of the games you'd hope to get a victory from. So forget about pack up your troubles in your what's it and get on board and give it your best shot.
And it's all about what we do next. And should Palace beat us on Tuesday, they leapfrog us. We could precariously find ourselves with, just looking at the bottom 3 just above them. And then if that's the state of play at the end of the game, it's 1 win in 12, one of the worst runs in the Premier League history. But if we win, we're suddenly looking up the table with a few winnable games coming up in January.
We are, but it's a lot of ifs there, Freddie. All that matters is what we do. And we've been lifted by this performance at Old Trafford. Let's face it, everybody felt like a bag of what's it after the Tottenham game. And now we're actually thinking, okay, maybe we've got a team back together. We might not have... I saw someone put, this is the worst, before the game yesterday, that's the worst starting 11 we've ever put out in the Premiership. They might have a point, but it's not the worst team. It's about the teamwork together and the belief in the team. That's what we've got to find right now, because we're right in the thick of it. No matter what someone says, we're not in a relegation. Of course, we're in a relegation fight right now. It's so tight down there. There's probably only one of 7 teams in that fight, I would say, and we're one of them. And we've got to show a bit of bottle and a bit of bollocks. Basically, it's all been doom and gloom this season. And I'm hoping whenever we've got a win, we don't seem to ever follow it up with another win. It's not exactly. It feels like a win yesterday. It feels like a win. Everybody was expecting a drubbing. And so we've come away from there where our heads held high, and you want to go into the Palace game and keep that momentum going. And then 5,000 supporters on the road going up to Fulham for the FA Cup match. I believe we've nearly sold out the Watford game. We might well have done already. So there's a bit of momentum going forward.
It's all about consistency, isn't it? I mean, what have we got to do to seal the 3 points on Tuesday night? Give us your prediction, mate.
It's a balance of stopping like you say, their 3 main players, frustrating them, and putting some pressure on them, because Palace do crack under pressure. They do. And I think I'll go for 2-1. I think Palace will score with that forward line. I think they've got goals in them. I'm worried about us getting 2, but that's what I think the scoreline's going to be. I haven't got one right this season, so I don't know why I bothered, to be honest.
Yeah, it's impossible to predict the starting 11 as well. I don't know why I bothered to.
It is, but let's try and be positive, for from the fans' point of view and realise the importance of this game. As important as the Huddersfield game. Get on it, lads, and give it your best shot.
Excellent stuff then, Clive. And don't forget to go ahead and leave us your predictions in the comments section below. And what should we do to get our 3 points and our first win of 2018? Leave us your likes, your comments, and subscribe for more.